3.1. That is, we were talking about the basis of the traditional Indian social system, and under that we have covered all these essential topics like Varnashrama and Purushartha. Now it's a turn of karma, and karma we all know, which is a basic philosophy and ideology that informs the Indian philosophy. It's a ideological facets, one of the ideological facets rather, which impacts Indian philosophy even today, Indian way of life, especially the belief systems in the Hindus, among the Hindus especially, and many other religious people also believe in the karma later, of course, not exactly entirely, but maybe in modified versions. But what exactly is karma? I mean, if you go to the single word karma, what is the meaning of that? Karma means simply the acts, the actions, the deeds we do. What is karma? Or rather, it is also similar. I mean, it is not only used as a singular but also as a plural one. So, karma, karmas in English, if you add s, also it will not change. So, karma is karma only in English as well as in Sanskrit, from which it originated. Karma means it can be singular as well as plural. That means you have one, even if you act, if you have one act, I mean, if you perform one act also, it is karma. One act or action, it is action also in simple words to be understood. Or in other words, several actions, many actions, or more than one action, or many acts or actions. That also will be deemed as karma only. Karma is a very interesting word which is not only not only singular but also plural one. What exactly it is? Action we have noted, and what kind of an action? Very interestingly, it's a very complex topic as well, and people think it is actually very simple one. But the more you dig deeper inside in the topic, the more we discuss about this, the more combinations and permutations it will come. Like for example, karma is associated with dharma, karma and punarjanma, right? And your examiner has asked several times, karma and dharma. Okay, it is related to dharma on the one hand, and it is related to even punarjanma on the other hand. Punarjanma in their syllabus they have mentioned as rebirth. Perhaps they have thought so many words have already come, so many even Sanskrit terms and other typical terms. So let us just put it as rebirth. So punarjanma or rebirth is also associated with karma. You all know, karma is also associated with Rina. In fact, don't write S. Actually, Rina again is a in Telugu we call runam, singular runam. We use ru in South India instead of in North India they use re, Rina, Krishna. Actually, when you write, no, it will become runa, runam, singular runam, plurals runa, runalu. So Rina is again similar in kind of this thing, right? It is also having singular plural similarity. Even if you call, one Rina is also used by denoted by one, the word Rina. Even if several obligations are also to be performed, that also comes under Rina, just like karma. Rina has got both singular and plural connotations. I mean, it is again associated with karma. So, karma is, I was saying, a complex entity, complex philosophy. It's a basically an ideological facet of a philosophy. It can even become an ideology, or you can simply call it as a part of philosophy. It's a philosophical world, entire philosophical worldview that guides human behavior in India. What exactly is karma doing here? It guides again. The knowledge of karma. What is exactly here? You better write this way. The knowledge of karma. Enough. That knowledge enough is itself is enough. The knowledge of karma guides one's actions. Guides one's actions. O N E apostrophe S. What are these actions? Again, I mean, you're saying on the one hand, knowledge of karma guides action. So karma itself is action, no? So even knowledge is also needed for that. It's just not just a kind of action in the practical sense. That means there is a lot of theoretical base for this. You got it? There is a theoretical base for karma. So what is that theoretical base? That means everybody, every human being must perform karma. They will perform, he or she will perform karma inadvertently also. That means without, that is unwittingly, even without any will also will be doing something involuntarily as part of the society, right? Individual is always a part of society. As a part of society, every person performs karma. You have to write this much deeper. If there is a 20 mark, I mean 15, 20 marker associated with something else, even in 10 marker, you can write all these 4 5 points together, then ask how it emanated in the first place, what exactly it has got, I mean, what relevance it has got today. All these dimensions you have to touch upon. I mean, if the examiner asks the kind of relevance, wonderful, no problem at all for us. Definitely we'll take that lead. Okay, so what exactly I'm saying? Every person does some karma. What is that karma? I mean, is it like wantedly that person is doing? No, even without knowledge also, even unwittingly, like some suddenly you have just, while you are actually listening to the class, some mosquito has come. You just, without your knowledge, involuntarily you have done that. That is also karma. Somewhere you're thinking, you're in the dreams, sorry, not in the dreams, and in kind of thoughts while you're awake, while you're sober, when you're thinking something, even that is karma. You are thinking about something or someone. That is also karma. That means a man or a human being cannot stop doing karma. That is number one base idea for this philosophy. Even unwittingly, these are done, right? The actions are done, even unwittingly performed by people. So this is indeed taken as an example of even performance. Perfor- uh, per- uh, for example, performance in the field or in one's own role of life. It all again appeals to the status and role of the person in the society. So it equates itself with the karma. I mean, the performance of the person in the society based on his in line, or rather in line with one's own status or role. So, what kind of a performance we expect from a teacher? The status of a teacher, the role of a teacher, the status of a warrior, the status of the role of a warrior, the status of a mother, the role of a mother, the father's status, the father's role. Everybody in the society has got some right, some status means some position in that society. Everywhere has got that position, and what kind of role or roles that person is playing. That is exactly the performance. That is also karma. So they also have to perform karma, right? And now coming to the nature of karma, how it should be. Nature of karma, how that means how karma should be, how I mean karma should be. That's it simply. How karma should be. There are several explanations given in the scriptures, right from the Puranas, the Upanishad philosophy. Upanishads are nothing but Vedanta. Somebody has actually, I mean, Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda says, all the Vedangas and of the Vedanta that is present in Indian philosophy is nothing but the nothing but called as Upanishads. So Vedanta, Upanishads, they are full of the exam. I mean, discussion on the karma, the philosophy of karma, all the dimensions of karma. Like I mentioned some of them, right? I can't explain all of that. It's a huge ocean of entire discussion. But you can write something, right? Vedanta is equal to Upanishads. And if you read Vivekananda's books, you'll really get a lot to know about karma. It goes on like in several dimensions. It's like an endless discussion, extraordinarily like clear. So he links it with several things which are sometimes fathomable, you can understand them, sometimes unfathomable in the domain of the unknown that we regularly talk about, right? The unknown, the unfathomable. the undescribable, that is the Atma, Paramatma kind of a discussion. Okay, so Vedanta Upanishads all do the discussions on the karma, right? Replete, these are replete with karma philosophy. And all these great sages, the philosophers, the rishis, munis, as per the Indian tradition, have actually contributed to this doctrine. And Bhagavad Gita sums up this in an extraordinary way. Karma philosophy is a huge philosophy, but where can you find the best, simplest explanation of the karma philosophy? In the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita talks about the karma once while he was, you all know that, right? While he gives this explanation to Krishna, when Krishna becomes, he is stuck with all of two, three kinds of emotions together. This guy is in a complete state of confusion, utter dismay. I mean, in an utter kind of, क्या बोलते हैं ना, loss of confidence. He loses confidence. He loses his entire personality there. He starts sorrowing, grieving. First of all, he gets pissed off by seeing the so much kind of big Sainya. Of course, he's a warrior, great warrior. He can single-handedly defeat at least half of the army one-handedly. At the same time, somewhere down the line, he gets that jitteriness. He becomes fearful. Second, number one. Second is he develops another dimension at one point of time. See the nature of the mind. While describing Arjuna's condition in this discourse, Krishna talks about the status of mind also, like how Arjuna's mind is wavering from this frightened kind of a mode, and also at the same time he also thinks about how can I kill my brethren? All these are my brothers, right? How can I kill my brethren, my gurus, my friends? All are there opposite to me. Again, he's thinking about making any sin, right? If I do that, it will be a very very big sin, and it will be a very big sorrow for their for their families, huge loss of lives. So all these three four kinds of modes or mode swings and mind I can say the statuses, modes of mind is read by Krishna like in the front of a mirror. He just captures that mind of the Krishna and says, "My dear, whatever may be the outcome, you have to perform your role. You are a kshatriya. You are a warrior. That is, I told you, know, the status or role kind of a background within which you have to perform. You have to perform the role of a warrior. You have entered the warfield. There is no looking back. Number one, that is that. Given that, you have to fight. Second, who are you thinking as all your brethren, etc.? Who is anyone connected with anyone? When it comes to dharma, the protection of dharma, everybody is like to be treated as equal. When somebody is on the side of adharma, you have to punish them. When somebody is on the side of the dharma, you have to protect them, right? And like that, gives clarity in every junction. Maybe you have read all this, right? You are aware of all these dimensions, Rahul. But my job is to bring clarity, which in all dimensions, whatever dimension I can touch in within this small short span of time, I will try to do it. Okay, if you are aware of it, wonderful. If you are not aware of it, kindly mention that. Which area you don't know, it's again time for us in this manner. The great deal is actually still there. Still, a lot of juice is there to come. See, he says, he talks about the spirit also. One, like this. He says that, the spirit is undampenable. The spirit can't be destroyed. The spirit can't be, it cannot catch fire. It is like, you can't describe it. It is some kind of an entity which is there in every being in this world. Every organism has that spirit. That spirit, whatever, or the soul you want to call, that Atma is the real thing, because the body is destructible. You're thinking of these persons as bodies because they will die, right? They will die later. Everybody will grieve. Everybody will, become sorrowful, and their families are lost. Then he says, what bodies you are talking about? Your body, my body, everyone in this world are perishable. What is eternal is the spirits. Your body is ephemeral. It is going to destroy. Tomorrow you will die. Today they will die. Tomorrow you will also die. Nobody is permanent here. The only permanent thing is the spirits. That's actually, if you invoke that spirit, you'll get the clarity. And you have to perform with your spirit, not the body. The spirit should guide you. And what is the spirit? It is a part of that universal spirit, the Paramatma. The Atma you are having actually today, it guides you. If you look deeper and deeper, it will be clearly visible to you. For that, you need to do yoga sadhana. He talks about karma yoga and all that, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. He gives a list of all the yogas. Now you have to do karma yoga. You don't have time for jnana yoga. You can't sit and meditate, right? You will not get that liberation. Now you don't have the time. Through karma yoga also you can get liberated. Karma yoga means do the action, and like a yogi means the one who performs action, the one who never waits for the results. He never weighs any pros and cons before acting. He just acts. That's all. He just jumps in and just fights like a warrior in this case, and just comes off. If he's alive, fine. If he's dead, fine. No problem. No, doesn't make much difference because you are a warrior, and you'll be like given that place, your position. If you are a true warrior, you have to do like a karma yogi. Karma yoga is the action where is that kind of a scenario where you act and don't wait for the results. The results will come automatically. Leave the result to me, right? He talks about that karma vadikarasyam mafaleshu kadachana. He speaks about all that in that brilliantly. He said one of the topmost life book for this. Even every personality development program should start with Bhagavad Gita. If I am there, I will definitely. I've already spoken. I mean, for some college students, I've taken some sessions on personality development and being yourself, etc. So many sessions I've taken. In every session, I mean, in one of the sessions, I was talking about this philosophy, and I was even speaking about Arishad Varga, how this Arishad Varga, six vices in the human being, they will come and affect your karma, your dharma, your purushartha. Everyone will be affected, and you can't be liberated. Okay, Krishna also talks about all this. He says if you are a karma yogi, you must act now. There is no, again action कब करने का? ने कल करने का क्या? Can we procrastinate that? Okay, we'll take a break and come back later. No, for every person. I mean, through Krishna, he is addressing every human being, not just only Indians or Hindus. He is addressing this great person, is addressing every human being. So that karma has to be done right now. When should be that karma you be acting? Act right now. When you are acting right now, there is no future, no past. Because in the past you'll always suffer. You see, when you think about your past, what do? Will you be happy when you're feeling? Just read the state of your mind. Just close your eyes, and if you just see the past, you will definitely, you know, cry over it. You'll feel sorry about things. अरे मेरे को ऐसा करना था. I wanted to do that thing. I became this thing. I would have been better if I have born in a being rich family. My brothers are don't support. My this then support. They have not helped me that day. Otherwise, I would have become like that. करता है कि नहीं? Your mind always talks like that. That is its nature. Krishna also talks about that. He wants to separate the state of mind and soul. Mind is different, soul is different. Soul is not to be fathomed. Soul you can't understand it all. You have to just wait for it to come about. You can't actually understand its nature. It's so deep that you can't. It will take hundreds of lives for you to understand. If you are a normal person, if you are a karma yogi or a jnana yogi or a bhakta yogi, you will take some time, but you will definitely get it. But mind you can easily read when you just keep your eyes closed. You can see the mind's nature. If it is thinking about the past, it will feel sorrowful, right? If it's in the future, now tell me what is that? Can you just guess what is the status of your mind or my mind, anyone in the world, all the human beings? If they just keep calm, relax, and close their eyes, think about the future. It's always anxiety, absolutely. Fear. One is sorrow, other is fear. And is it the true nature of you? He says, you means you and I are same. I have created this entire world. All these creatures are created by me, and all these creatures suffer from this problem. I have not made them perfect because if I make them perfect, they will just forget God. right? They are humans. Air is human. You also make this mistake. I mean, fear of making mistake should not stop your karma. You just act. That's it. And many students, many youngsters in this world today suffer from this, right? They are either in the past, they are either in the future, and they are always bound to inaction. That is the biggest problem. Right or wrong, Rahul? They are always procrastinating. Most of them suffer from this inaction, lethargy, and क्या बोलते हैं ना, rigidity. They'll become what is that, Newton's third law of motion. They will just become, there is a word here, I'm not getting that. They'll become like, what is that one action will be, there is one word use constantly. Inertia. Absolutely, they are almost like inert people. They don't take action. Someone has to come and push them. See, Arjuna was also suffering the same, with the same problem, with this karma philosophy. Acha, you need not write all this anyhow. For better understanding of the concept, you should know the background. How the karma philosophy, which was there in the Vedantas and Upanishads, has been clearly summarized by Bhagavad Gita. It's an essence of all the philosophy in the world regarding the karma. Okay, so what is the solution for this? To get out of this inertia, act now. You want to go to, a bank and apply, do it right now. Tomorrow again, we don't know what will happen. If you postpone it again, see, fear starts. Arey, mere ko jana tha. Again, that past will come. Arey, unnecessarily I have not missed that. If my cash is not deposited, what will happen? The unnecessarily my EMI will go for a bomb. I should have gone. I should have gone. I should have gone. Your mind will eat you away. The panacea for this, the medicine for this is act now. If you are acting now, you are in the present. The present is beautiful. The present is the only thing he says. For you have to act. And present, you can't sit idle. You can't sleep. You can't dream. You have to act. When you are acting, all the dreams will realize. Today may not be, but tomorrow definitely they will realize. Now see how much kind of personality development he has given in this small kind of a sermon, or rather several shlokas. All these shlokas, for us they look very big, but in a battlefield, it's just in a flow he comes with. Probably you have come across, and every person on this earth should listen to this, irrespective of their religious background. Okay, this is about the person's direct. He is appealing directly to the action, and not any religious stuff here. No religious stuff. Only about that philosophical stuff and the spirituality. If somebody is really spiritual, that person should definitely read Bhagavad Gita and talk. I mean, know a great deal about action, the importance of action, and whatever you reap, that you will, whatever you sow, you will reap that. If you sow mango seed, okay, you will get mango tree only, not the tamarind tree, right? Whatever you sow, shall you reap. That means your action, if it is good, you will get good results. If your action is bad, you will get bad results. That's it. No, it is directly proportional. Okay, that means your actions should be guided, or the karma should be guided by dharma, because dharma is always the righteousness. Another meaning for dharma. Yesterday, I have given you the meaning of dharma as right, the doctrine which binds everything, which holds together everything. Dharma has got another connotation. Dharma means righteousness. What is righteousness? Such an extraordinary kind of a philosophy, and nowhere in the world this kind of an clarity is there. Dharma means righteousness. What is righteousness? What ought to be right, not right. What is right nahi hai. Dharma matlab what is right nahi hai. Righteousness matlab what ought to be right in such a context. It is righteousness. Every person in such a place. For example, the sun and stars, or the planets and the heavenly bodies, they should be there in that. If they are not there in that position, something else will happen. The world will destroy, right? Similarly, whatever person, now again the status role kind of a distinction and clarity comes here. Now, whatever status you are playing, you have to play that status only. You have to, whatever role you are playing, you have to play that role only. That means everybody in its his or her place. No transgression of the place. A mother, if she is, of course, she is doing her jobs brilliantly. As a mother, she can do the job of a father. But can she become a father 100%? Absolutely no. 100%, one person cannot do the job of others. She can at least come up to 50, 60%, or at the most 70%. Similarly, a man cannot work like a woman. A king cannot work like a minister. A minister has to work as a minister. King has to work as a king. A Brahman has to perform the duties of a Brahman. A Kshatriya has to protect his kingdom like a Kshatriya. A teacher should teach all the Shastras and Dharmas like whatever his role is expected to be. A student has to perform his Dharma. A wife has to perform her Dharma. A husband has to perform his Dharma. Children, of course, they're very little, they don't understand. When they grow up, they have to perform the role of a vidyardhi or a brahmachari. You see, every role, every place, every status, every person has got to, they have to act within their roles and statuses. If everybody in their place, and no transgression of the places, no going above, beyond those places and acting in a different manner. No, that means all the rules and the performances are fixed. So simply you have to follow that role, that's it. And all the karma you're doing, that has to follow this dharma. Dharma means, that is, when you go away from dharma, somebody goes away from dharma, that becomes adharma, right? And it becomes an adharmic way. Adharma destabilizes this world. It disturbs the harmony in this world. It will affect the peace of this world. It will result in conflict, bloodshed, war, everything. So dharma also rightfully has been adopted by Buddhists also. Buddhists and Jains, everybody, most of them adopted dharma and uh, just I mean, made it popular in the Prakrit, which became famous as Dhamma. Dharma, because it is a central principle with which the entire world acts. The karma should also follow the dharma. Whatever karma you are doing should follow the dharma. Okay, but even if you are having that sexual relations with somebody, that is also karma. Now karma comes there also, right? It's not just karma, action of karma, right there again. If you are earning ardha, now you can relate karma with purushartha also. You are seeing, ठीक है? So पुरुषार्थ में क्या है? In the other section, like ardha, karma, what karma you are doing to earn ardha? Is it a bad karma, good karma? Good karma. Good karma means already good dharma. Good dharma, good karma, good ardha. You need not worry about it. You can sleep happily whenever you have sufficient money, and guided by those two principles, Atsaya and Aparigraha, you can go ahead with this. Right? Without any problem, you can sleep, you will have hunger at the right period, and you can bequeath. That means you can give that wealth to your future generations happily without worrying. You can pay taxes to the governments with full confidence, and everywhere you will be winning hearts, and nowhere you will be put down to difficulties. So if you follow dharma and karma in a good combination, that will result in win-win situations. So coming to Rina here, again same thing. Karma and Rinas are highly linked together, because Rinas are also nothing but like something like you are fulfilling some karmas. They are also indirectly karmas only. When you are paying back the entire, I can say, Rina, we told, there are four types. One is Deva Rina, Rishi Rina, Atithi Rina, and Pitra Rina. D for Deva Rina, A for Atithi Rina, not in that order exactly. You can write any which way. And Rishi Rina for the Gurus, and Pitra Rina for the Mata Pita. Both parents. Pitra means not just only father. Both parents, father and mother. For them, you have to pay the rinas. While you are paying the rina, that means they tantamount to karma only. Yeah, you are actually performing some karmas. So, these are nothing but the obligations you fulfill. So, when you don't pay the obligations in this lifetime, okay, then you are bound. Because that means you have that karma to be performed left out. Karma have got added to your debit accounts. Karma got added to be performed in the next janma. That is how they link it to punarjanma, to be performed at a later life. What is this later life or afterlife, or that is the next life, next janma. So when you are unable to fulfill these rinas in this lifetime, you will have that gap that you have to perform that in the next janma, because your still obligations are still not met. Okay, so you have to take the next janma. That is the punarjanma concept, right? So karma and rina are linked like that, and karma and punarjanma are again done. That is where highly the people who criticize these dharma shastras came into the picture. They said, because the initial philosopher said, like all these the dharma shastra writers, they said when a person does good deeds, he will be born as a brahman. Maybe they are telling in a good deed, but how it got skewed up, but later it got skewed up, right? That how, because everybody wants a peaceful lifestyle, peaceful society. If karma dharma philosophy and karma philosophy, um, I mean, prevent a person from doing some bad activity, that's good only, no? That's indirectly, it's a good way. So if they are saying in the next janma you are going to become a Brahman, that is where people are actually taking objection. Why are you telling only Brahman? Because acha, and why people are giving that example? Because in this traditional Indian society, Brahmins enjoyed the most maximum privileges and almost zero disabilities, right? With this, I will discuss anyhow when we go to the topic 3.2, caste and its structure and its nature and its characteristics. So the varna, the higher varna people, brahmana. If you perform some mistakes, you will be born as kshatriya. Some more mistakes, you will be born as vaishya. If you are, I mean, if you have performed a lot of mistakes, you will be born as a sudra. If you are like life is full of mistakes only, you will be born as a antima jati person. That is, they will call it as untouchables, right? The panchamas. The panchamas came into being at a later stage, not in the very early part of the Varna society, but later it has entered into the society. But at least Sudra life was condemned, because Sudras enjoyed in those times heavy disabilities, a lot of disabilities. Disabilities, matlab, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't. You can't enter here, you can't touch them, you can't speak to them directly, you can't wash there, you can't wear this kind of clothes. ये जो है ना, don't list, you don't, you can't. So if the list is very huge, these are called disabilities. If what are the other things exactly opposites? The privileges. You can do whatever, you can marry four women, you can get punished only with a head tonsure. Even if other caste members are going to be given a death sentence by hanging or beheaded, right? The beheading, you will only be exonerated with a tonsure. That is a Brahman's privilege. So Brahmins enjoy a lot of privileges. So perhaps that is the reason they said, if you perform good karmas, because you as good as that is a good life. Naturally, in the next janma, you are going to become a Brahmin. That means good karma in the good dharma, good karma will take you there and position you at the top rungs. If you that is that means indirectly it is like what exactly say, it's a explanation for that order, or whatever that social order that was established, all that stratified society that got established. If to be made authentic, to be made acceptable, and to be made क्या बोलते हैं ना, there is one word for that, legitimized, that is the correct word, to get that legitimacy for this entire social order. The Brahmins, according to these scholars, created all these kinds of notions. Karma philosophy is in this context is the creation of the Brahmins, because they want to perpetuate this order. They don't want anybody to question this order. So they are giving a legitimate expression in the punarjanma, karma and punarjanma. You got it? So this is how criticism part you can write later, but even if you don't want to write also, it's okay. And what exactly this philosophy means, this is the reason. And Rina, already have explained to you what Rinas you have to do in your life as a gruhastha. As a brahmachari, you can't repay any Rina. Okay, only as a grihastha. So grina has always got associated with the grihastha ashrama. Tomorrow they can even create a small short notes and ask grihastha ashrama and rina. So it's a cakewalk for you. It will be a direct question. And there you please write the karma and punarjanma also in the parenthesis, right? In the conclusion, you have to write it is not in the beginning or in the body. Okay. So Grihastha and Rina will become a good combination because only in this Grihastha the man, especially which man, which kind of a man, you tell me now, what is a dash man? Fill up the blank, Rahul. What is the dash man here doing? Family person. Okay. Family person है भाई. गृहस्थाश्रम also family man only. Family man three. No problem. But I'm talking about which kind of a man. Is it Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra or what? Or which Varna? Or I gave you some deep explanation about that. Upanayana Samskara. No. No. Ashrama system is restricted to only some people I told you. One kind of a person were left out or not eligible. They need not, in fact, they said, for you it is not required. You can, this strict kind of, this is what I want you to hit the bullseye. The Dvija Varna people, all the three top, the Varnas, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and the Vaishya. These three Varna people were in the role of the Grihastha, men only have to perform these rinas. They have to repay the rinas. Devarina, by doing prayers and sacrifices, they have to perform yagnas and yagas and do havan every day. There are two types of karmas again in that they nitya karma, naimittika karma. They have to do their nitya karma in the home. Every day they have to do the havan, and once you complete that, only you can go out. And even after coming back, if you have time and scope, you can do the second home along with that, along with what that Sandhya Vandana. You can do a small homa if you want, but one homan is compulsory. If you want to conduct in the afternoon, wonderful. The wife has to lit that. This is only through karma, not in the ashrama system. See, Rina is only one dimension of it, but karma is a larger picture. That's the reason. No, see, it is not possible for everybody to clear all the Rina. So they are reborn. But if they in that jarma, if they perform good karma, then they can be liberated. Even Sudras, I told you, Sudras are also eligible for Purushartha. And the karma are applicable to Shudra also. Not the ashrama system. That means going and learning the Vedas, getting married and going the Grihastha life, and going to Vanaprastha and taking up moksha. It is not required for Sudra because they are expected to serve all the three castes. They have to perform agriculture. They have to do all the menial jobs. So when can they find the time to do all that? So इतना strict life उनको possible नहीं होगा. But if they do good deeds, they can end up as Brahmin. See, again, there is a discount here. There is an offer here. Okay, it is nothing to do with Rina here because they are exempted from Varna, the Rina system. They need not even pay back any Rina. But if they do other karmas, good karmas, see, good karmas means not only just repaying the Rina, but also other karmas, protecting animals, protecting nature, no, going for ahimsa, helping others, saving others' lives, and doing dana dharma, doing yagna yaga if at all he can, or paying a pandit and do that, and celebrating festivals, giving water, giving food, all of them simple kind of good deeds will make you end up. That is the kind of a offer. No clear? Yeah. So all the three, four, all this rinas are clear to you. So Devarina, I told you what in the Devarina you have to perform. That person, especially the Dvija Varna person, has to perform daily prayers, sacrifice, puja, vrat. There are so many types of these rituals. Prayer, only singing hymns to the great Lord, prayer, then puja, offering something, the flowers, etc. That is puja. Then arti, giving this. There are all the Sanskrit words that is there. Archana, that means read the namas, 100 names or 1,000 names of that god. That is called archana. Then naivedya, then arghya, padya. There are so many kinds of small rituals that we have to complete to that completely follow with respect to the gods. And yagna and yaga, it's called sacrifice in a crude translation in English. It's stood as sacrifice, but it's basically yagna and havan. Yagna is a public event, usually public event. Havan is a, it can be public, it can be at home also, individual, right? Havan or a homan, it's also called as homam or homan. In some people write it as homan, some people write it as homam. Both are right. It can be done in public or private. Okay, in every day you can't invite everyone and give them food after performing. So many people would like to continue the private mode. In the private mode or in the public mode, especially in the private mode, wife has to come and that she lights the homan. She offers the lights to the homan, and that is how it starts. That's the reason a man has to be married. This for this purpose, even there was, because of this reason, uh, any person doing offering all this can marry a second wife immediately after the death of the wife. So that's the reason in a patriarchal society, people criticize no that there are double standards for both men and women, whereas women are not allowed to marry, men are immediately allowed to marry. So what explanation they gave is a man has to perform this yagna yaga every day, nitya karma, naimitika karma, in order to pay the rishi devaruna. They need a wife to come and enlighten the light lamp, and she has to start that havan. So that agnihotra has to be done, right? For that, this woman has to be there. He can't start that because it is a perhaps it's a big symbolic thing. We are not going there, but this is the reason the man can marry a woman immediately also after the birth or death of his wife. Maybe after the performance of the 10th day or 11th day ceremonies. That means immediately after 1 2 weeks he can marry. So this is how the Dharma Shastras prescribed for them. And coming to Atidhirina, right? Atidhirina, we know there is a big doctrine which informs us. What is this saying? Atithi Devo Bhava. That became a slogan for Indian tourism. That's a different story. Atithi Devo Bhava is a guiding principle. That means every in that guest form, and Bhagwan can come. The God can come in the form of a Atithi, not the way, and you have to take care of the Atithi just like the God. How when God comes in front of you and he just expresses himself, asking you for all the "Arey kya chahiye tujhe?" Ask three bones, all that I will give you. So not that, may not be like that, but this guy can come, and in the God can come in the form of any Atithi. So you have to do the puja, give them the water for cleaning the feet. You have to offer a cloth to clean the feet again. Give them water to drink, then food, then if possible give vastra, tubhyam, at least a small tukra handkerchief for men, and a blouse piece for women. At least something you have to give, and give fruits and send them off. That is how it is actually mandated. So Atidhirana you have to, whenever Atidhi comes you have to clear this. You follow the same pattern. If you have more money, give to men some ये होता है ना clothing, that at least आजकल cut piece आ रहा है, एक shirt piece and pant piece. For women one sari and blouse and some fruits. That will be the complete thing. And after offering the bhojan, ठीक है, food full खाना खिला के भेजना है. So that is how you pay back that Atidhirina. Rishi Rina is a very, it's a general part of the roots of this Rishi Rina are laid out in the very, uh, क्या बोलते हैं ना, student life. that is brahmachari life, because this can be done only by earning the, that is learning the knowledge, earning the capacity, learning the knowledge and sharing the knowledge. First you should learn the knowledge, then you should share it as much as possible, if possible free of cost, but at least not like Vijay Sarathy charge some fees, because he has also to live. Then when whatever extra he wants to add, okay, possible thoda ye kar do, value addition karo, that is also okay. And don't restrict your knowledge. Okay, if you pay me this much, I will release again some more volumes or some more videos. So not like that. Okay, not learning the knowledge and sharing that knowledge to the maximum, to anyone who comes seeking the knowledge. That person may be a Sudra also, not restricted to only Brahmanas or women or any, or men only. Women can also be given this knowledge, Shudra or any person who comes to you and in asking for help and asking for knowledge and guidance. You give them, then your this Rina is paid off. Okay, this Rishi Rina is paid off. And of course, I told you about the Pitru Rina. In the Grihastha you beget the children and take the Vamsha forward. You have been responsible for Vamshankura, and those Vamshankura will become Vamshodharaka. Tomorrow they will again take the lineage forward. So you are as good as living in the future also. That means you can happily die. And all the you have to take care of about the parents in their old days. So all these are taken care of in the Grihastha Ashrama itself. And this guy, and for that to happen, he has to earn the Ardha. Already we have discussed this in the earlier class. So this is how this entire things are highly intricately linked to each other. Okay, so चलो और एक टॉपिक है and rebirth. Rebirth is simply the last topic anyhow. And what we have got in rebirths, in simply it is called as punarjanma. We all know this. That means everybody who takes birth dies. Everybody who dies takes birth again. It's like that um, endless cycle of birth and deaths. Birth will come, and once you are born, you are born to die. And once you are dead, you are born to die. Born to you are bound to take birth again. So this birth death cycle is endless according to the actual knowledge. I mean, generally people believe this in most of the religions. They don't have, of course, the philosophy of karma and what we call this क्या बोलते हैं ना Rina etc. for the coming out of that cycle and moksha etc. But yes, some, as we have noted about some religions like Buddhism speaks about nirvana. This was a word I was searching yesterday. I was in the break, I got this. Buddhism, nirvana, Jainism talks about kaivalya, right? Kaivalya, the same kind of concept called as moksha in Hinduism. So, only when one attains moksha or kaivalya or nirvana or all, that person will not be born again. Why? Because once the physical body, in the death, what happens? Physical body actually gets degenerated. Once we are born, it is the physical body with which we are born. Body is only the vehicle. In the body resides the atma, the soul or the spirits, right? In the body is only the vehicle for some time. When the vehicle is gone, but the person has to travel, right? The soul travels, the spirit travels. The spirit, first of all, maybe if it is not happy, it will become haunting. That according to the negative kind of interpretation. This original negative interpretation was not there in any Vedanta or Upanishad. They just say the spirit has undergoes transmigration. What actually spirit does? Transmigration. What do you mean by transmigration? Just like when an old cloth is torn and you wear a new cloth, okay, the just your body enters there, the soul also enters into another body. Once this body becomes what you call defunct, or it becomes decaying after the death, the body becomes decayed, right? Immediately the soul undergoes transmigration. and it enters another body. This concept was also spoken by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Very clearly he espouses all this. The spirit undergoes transmigration. It's also called as transmigration of the soul. So whether you call it as soul or spirits, it is the same. And this is the one which takes the rebirth, it enters another body. That another body may be a human, may not be a human every time. It all depends again on your karma. If you are doing very, very utterly disgustful activities, you will be born as a kida makoda. All that body log bolte hai na, you कीड़े पड़े तुम्हारे मुंह पे, and that means only when we are dead all the कीड़े will come and start eating us. That means you please die करके शाप दे रहे हो. In fact, they are maybe that through that another thing started. I mean, people believe this. If you are doing all this utterly disgustful or unacceptable activities, papa, you are continuously doing papa. Okay, and that papa, all the sins will get accumulated. They will get accumulated as if there is a debit account and a credit account. In your credit actually, okay, in your credit, all these papa are getting accumulated. Similarly, punya are also getting accumulated. We all, right, our elders say all this. Have you heard about all this in your childhood or recently? Sins means what is the good things? Good deeds or virtues. These are also karma again. This also again is informed by karma philosophy. Right, Rahul? अभी सुने ये सब. Both are again informed by karma philosophy. Good karma, bad karma. And again, karmas are of three types. There are because karma is not so easy thing. It will just haunt you. It will like even in the next janma. It will not. Havan भी बोलते हैं उसको होमन हवन are all different क्या बोलते हैं ना different varieties of the same concepts. They just pronunciation का कुछ difference है. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is when these karmas are done, karmas are of three types. One is sanchita, one is prarabdha. Actually, first is sanchita. Sanchita, that means some sanchi means in Telugu we call sanchi means one small thaili. You go to the market with a thaili bag. That is something called as a bag. So when your papas or when your papas get accumulated, or the sins or get accumulated, your karmas also get accumulated. Good karma, bad karma, both. If your good karmas are more than the bad karmas, that means very likely you in the next janma you have a chance to reduce those bad karmas, increase the good karma, then you will get liberated. You will not end up again born again in this samsara, because samsara is full of sorrow. Okay, samsara is like this iha samsare bahudukhare. The same kind of Shankaracharya says, Iha samsare bahudukhare. Many this samsara, Iha means this world. This world, that is through the birth, you will enter into this world, that is samsara. The samsara is always usually full of sorrows because humans remember this bad experiences more than the good experiences. It is a human nature, correct? We remember all the just like I told you, whenever you keep your eyes and you go to the past, you always think of sorrowness. अरे ये हो गया मेरे लाइफ में, हो गया, I have become like this, I have born in this family, ये सब, right? That means every time you are in bahudukha, it is always sorrowful. And this sorrowfulness it is very difficult to come out of it. And when is the good thing, that means you are always happy, peace, contentment. There is this kind of what we call bliss, eternal bliss is where you go to that paraloka, ihaloka. This is iha. Okay, iha to para, the entire transfiguration of the soul. The soul is trying to reach the para, but you are, since you have done all the bad deeds, your soul is brought down and thrown in another kind of a body. Okay, that you have to complete this the credit debit equation. You have to settle your scores. Then only the entire traffic is cleared there. There is lot of there are so many obstacles there. They will not allow you there until you clear the IHA, whatever the misdeeds you have done in this IHA. There is no entry to the para. Para means that world. That world. Yesterday I wanted to tell all this, but time mere paas nahi tha. So that world, okay. That means that is a world full of bliss, no questions of any sorrow. If you come back to this world, you will suffer because these are all because of your sanchita karma. Okay, sanchita means all accumulated karma, accumulated. Sanchita means accumulated. Somewhere I've written. I'll write it here also. Sanchita means accumulated. Something like they are accumulated in a bag. They are equivalent. They are all described like this. They are sum total karma. Please write down. Sanchita means sum total karma. SUM, sum total. Pura accumulate way or accumulated actions which are compared to arrows in the quiver. See, all this discussion will revolve around arrows. So that means somebody is holding arrows here. No, एक पुराने picture में देखते हो. Like even recently as Bahubali also. This fellow has that bag, small bag, and in that there are arrows. He takes these arrows and shoots. I think ऐसा बिबंदा बोल के दो arrow मारता है. That's a थोड़ा extra है. लेकिन usually this is big. I can say the bag which carries this. That so your sanchita karma or something like all already accumulated there. And there is another karma called prarabdha. Prarabdha karma. If you have an entire discussion on karma, then you can write all this and get brilliant marks. Because this much deeper, nobody understands them first and nobody writes them. People forget all these difficult some Sanskrit words. It is very difficult to remember. Prarabdha means it is fructifying. Fructifying. That means they are taking shape. In fact, actions which are set in motion. They've already started. So recently you have taken done already some actions you have taken. So for that they have been moving forward. They are not accumulated as yet. They are in motion actually. They are set in motion. Or it can be compared as arrows in flight. That means you have already left the arrows. Earlier it was prarabdha. Earlier it was sanchita. Now prarabdha means you have already shot the arrow. The arrow is going. That is called prarabdha. Have you written all this? Huh. Then arrows in motion. Arrows in motion or flight in this life. So in this life you are actually getting क्या बोलते हैं experiencing all that. Sometimes you don't even have the gyan of all this. You don't even know what exactly is happening to you. So when some we don't have any explanation, then say mera karma hai. It's all because of my fate, purana janma ka, or recently I have done something. I am now paying that. Okay, I am paying my karma. So some people speak like that. You have heard, no? Many people. मेरा karma है, मेरे माथे पे है. Fateful, my fates. So it's that they resign that entire thing to their fates. Next is third one is kriyamana or agami karma. Agami means which are going to happen in the future. That means even in this life, if it is possible, if you clear all those kind of equations, balance karte ho debit credit ko, it's fine. If it is if you are unable to do it, they will come and haunt you in the next life also. Agami karma. Agami, आने वाला, agami. See the word agami. आगमना बोलते हैं in Sanskrit. Somebody is coming. आगमना, विदेश आगमनम. Right? Somebody has gone to or is going to Videsha. They say Videsh Agamanam or coming for back from some place. They are agaming, agamana. That means they are coming. In they are coming in the future. Agami karma. So third one is agami. Sanchita, prarabdha, agami. So these explain how your karma and rebirth and Rina, all Rina is to a slight extent, but rebirth in a great extent is linked to karma. So many times your examiner asks karma and rebirths, karma and punarjanma. So write all this. Punarjanma, yeah, sorry, kriyamana or agami. So please write this thing, all these things which will come in the future, the actions which will fructify in the future, that is next janma or punarjanma. Okay, so in the future they will come and they will start guiding your life, or rather ordaining your life, conditioning your life. So sometimes ऐसा होता है ना, even though you are doing so many things, nothing is coming into the, according to the philosophers. You may believe this, you may not believe this, but according to the philosophers, you can play safe here by writing like that. According to the believers and philosophers of this kind of a thing, so karma philosophy, these are the essential items. Karma will guide our actions. Karma will, the doctrine of karma and punarjanma explain the present life of a person, present condition of life, because that karma will condition our lives. Okay, so clear so far, Rahul, on this? Unnecessarily used to memorize. Acha, you used to memorize. That's what I said. You see, when we don't know the depth, इसीलिए मैं एक extraordinary life का example बताऊं, extraordinary principle in life that will actually take you there in whatever action you do, whatever field you enter. Tomorrow you become IS officer, you want to go to the top, then you can do it. How do you do it? Shall I give you the wonderful explanation for everyone? Through Rahul, I am giving this kind of a piece of my life principle here. What is that? Once upon a time, Krishna Devaraya, you know, Krishna Devaraya ruled Vijayanagar Empire. Today it is there in the ruins in Karnataka and some parts of Andhra Pradesh. I think mostly in Karnataka. Krishna Devaraya, very big, great emperor, king, called his one of his, yeah, आजकल का serial आ रहा है ना, Ramakrishna, Tenali Rama is a Vidushaka Kavi. He is a joker come Kavi. He always used to entertain the public and the king, and he's also very wise fellow. So one day Krishna Devaraya was having a big, he was in deep thinking, and everybody, whosoever was gone, he was not given any appointment. Said this as a king is very serious. Krishna Devaraya Sahib is very serious and he's angry also. And if you go there, you may be beheaded because king's orders are final. And don't go there. But Tenari Rama wants to go and meet him. Even after getting, reprimanded, warned, this fellow wants to go. No, no, I can't leave my king like that. Let me share my king's problems. Whatever, if he wants to behead me, no problem. Then he somehow gets in near the Raja. The Raja says, Kya ho gaya? Said, are you mad? You don't know, I'm in a big thinking. You want to get beheaded? I warn you, just leave here, from here. Chale jao yahan se, he says. But Tenali Rama says, Sir, this my life is dedicated to you. You have given me this position. Please tell me whatever I can do, I will try to do my best. If I can't do, just behead me, no problem. Then Krishna Devara thinks, okay, I'll share this problem. But again, same condition, you will be beheaded if you don't give the solution. Then Krishna Devara comes, Tenali Rama says, Sir, please ask your assistants to bring a big, क्या बोलते हैं ना ऐसा एक छोटा सा, earlier they used to paint, no, it will unfold something like a blackboard, but mobile blackboard, a big blackboard, and some क्या बोलते हैं उसको, chalk piece. Blackboard chalk piece नहीं था, something else was there. That blackboard he has brought. ठीक है, he got crazy, ये पागल हो गया आदमी, this fellow is a stupid fellow, he will be hanged, no problem, he will be definitely beheaded. चलो ठीक है sir, he says fine, since he's saying something he'll do. Then Tenali Rama comes and says, he just takes the chalk and asks the Raja to draw a circle here. Okay. Then the Krishna Deva says, what crazy yaar, isko leke jao yaar, mera dimag kha raha hai. I want the solution to my problem. He is asking me to draw circles here. Is he stupid or what? इसको तो आज मरना ही है. Okay. Then he says again, चलो और एक बार. No, 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 sir. Please listen to me. I have a solution to your problem. Then he says, Raja, give the chalk piece to me. Then he takes the chalk piece and he says, he draws another big circle. Okay. And then he says, sir, this is your solution. He says, then call, hey, who is there? Chalo, come, isko leke ja, arrest him and put him in the jail and hang him immediately. This fellow is asking me to draw this. I am suffering with this problem. And he's instead of giving solution, itna bada headache there I. And Tenali Rama says, wait, I'll give the answer. Rajaji, your problem is this. See, you have yourself drawn this, no? But if you come out of this problem, you have to start seeing this. Now, in these two circles, which is a bigger one? He says this is a bigger one. So try to go above and see from the above, my dear Raja. You are stuck only here, just like a chess player. You are stuck only in this. That, but a third person, opposite wala, udhar khelne wala, they can give a better solution, right or wrong? The solution always appears to the outside person. Now you come out to the person, think like an outside person, go above, elevate it, create a larger, uh, go see the larger picture, see a bigger problem than this. If today I can't solve this, what can it lead to? How big it can become? If you start thinking big, this problem will appear small. You have more bigger problems in life. In fact, the same thing here you can apply to your preparation. When somebody is giving a prescribed book, right? For example, how I bring excellence in my teaching. When somebody asks me to read a book, okay, for example, I find some article in the internet. So what I do, for example, there is a book mentioned, for example, Patterns of Culture. Everybody knows that Ruth Benedict wrote this Patterns of Culture in 1934. Fine, they just mention. But what I do is, I go to the internet or somewhere, I search this, take out this book, start reading it, at least essential statements, not an entire book, but whatever is relevant to the exam or the theory, I pick up that. So, if everybody is following the small circle, I follow this circle. Earlier, you are going and you are mugging up only this much. Now, if you get a bigger explanation, this will look very small, right or wrong? This is what I wanted to point out. So always go read more than what it is required for the exam. You go beyond the examiner's shoes. If some questions are coming from, for example, the world level affairs, go to these bodies. For example, if we want to understand Indo-US relations, you have to study certain ideas written by scholars like there is a book, entire book written by our former foreign minister Jashwant Singh. Jashwant Singh, I have actually bought those books. If you read that book, you'll fall in love with foreign policy. For you, international affairs or international relations will be a cakewalk. And there are scholars who give interviews like Sham Sharan. Today, some article has come by N. M.K. Narayanan, right? These great scholars, and Uday Bhaskar, Commodore Uday Bhaskar. These are the authorities on international relations. But do we read all these interviews and books and quotations? We do not, right? We rely on some XYZ teacher, or I mean, if the teacher is excellent, fine, no problem. You leave it to the teacher. If you feel somewhat, you because your mind itself will give you a clue that somewhere you feel that gap, that lacuna, that mediocrity. If you see that mediocrity, leave that mediocrity, dump that mediocrity, go for excellence. Excellence lies in the libraries and so standard interviews, their books. If not entire book you can study. For example, if you have got a good library in your city or Bangalore, go to that library, search for that, and write some essential introductions itself is enough. These people's book introduction itself is enough for your answers. The kind of depth you bring in your understanding will ease your answers. If you know feel like enjoying and writing, just आराम से लिख के आता हूँ exam. So elevate your level of preparation, and all this look very small. I think I've said enough. On this note, we will take a break, and after the break, we'll assemble. Okay? I don't have the tuitions today for my kid, so I'll continue in the. अच्छा ये हो गया ना? Chapter I think 3.1 is done. We will enter into the next chapter. That is 3.2, the structure of the caste system, and others. Okay, take care. Chalo, bye. On in 15-20 minutes, we'll meet.